some shade, not shanks or sharks or shorts. If you say shorts, I'll tell you what. These are shorts right here. That's not me. I don't look like shorts. But that's neither here nor there. Anyways, this is going to be episode 1 of my Mine Minecraft Hardcore series, episode 1. I'm also streaming this here on YouTube, so you gotta catch those streams next time. I'm watching. You better be there. If you're not, well, enjoy the video. So this is gonna be the beginning of my hardcore series. Started it off like any other Minecraft game, going to get my basic resources like the woods and the cobblestones, which you see here. It's streamed live on YouTube, by the way. Can please watch it and like I'm on live, please. But anyways, did my basic resources, made me some stone tools, and I went down into mines to check it out a little bit, maybe get some iron and some other whatnots and do hats. So it's another day, and I'm sick today now. But anyways, I decided to go down to the cave, check it out, see if I can get any good resources I could use early on in the game to get a good base ground, if you will. So I went down the waterfall, went down there, realized that there was some stuff for me to get, so I made my stone tools so I could go get it, defend from any mobs down there, keep myself safe. So I decided to go check out what's down there. And after not even 10 seconds of being down there, I managed to find my first bits of iron. And this is going to be huge for early on in the hardcore world if I want to get armor and tools to stay alive. I mined out the vein and ended up getting 4 iron. I decided to dig a little deeper, maybe get some coal, and hopefully find more iron. I went deeper down and mined a little area for me to scout out if there was any mobs down there, so I could play it safe. I noticed there was no mobs, so I made my slow descent down to see if I could find anything. While down there, I found my first bits of coal, which not right now is going to be huge, but it will be later on when I run out. Go through a great coal depression, so it's good to have coal early on and later on. I don't know why I'm explaining that, it should be known, but I got the coal. I went further down and I managed to find more iron. I'm not going to bore you with all this. I did find a little bit more, but I'll just show you the end results and skip this mining session, get to the other stuff. When I finally decided I was done with mining, I had a close encounter with a skeleton and almost died. But I came up with 13 iron and 52 coal, not bad for a first mining session. But I decided to go find some food. Excuse me. And find a place to sleep. After making my way out of the cave area, the sun started to set. I didn't want to take any risks. I found some iron in the mountain. I mined it out, and I decided to set up camp for the night there. And I decided to just hide out till the sun set up, or came up. Now, I don't know if hardcore time is different or not, but when I tell you I was hidden in this mountain for so long, I literally got up out of my room and went to make some food, and it was still nighttime when I came back. You gotta let me know in the comments. Is hardcore time longer than normal time, or am I just tripping? I legit think I was waiting in that mountain for like 30 minutes. It was crazy. I was in there when the NBA Finals game ended, with the Pacers won in Game 6 and took it to Game 7. They ought to win, huh? But I finally got out, and I went out there to find some food, and you will not believe what I found. I went to go find some sheep to kill, so I could get wool for a bed, so I don't have to hide in mountains anymore. And I found a pink sheep. It was a sight to be held, I'll tell you what. But anyways, after that encounter with the pink sheep, I got some shears, and I stripped his friends nude right in front of him. It was terrible, but it had to be done. I needed to sleep, and they're naked now. That's just how it has to go at this point. I then encountered some cool looking chickens, and I said hi to them, but for some reason they just dropped meat. I don't get it though. But I mean, I guess free food. Well, after having pleasant conversations with other animals, and my axe of course, I decided to go find somewhere that I could call home and live, I guess. Specifically a plains biome. That's where I wanted to stay. During my search for a plains biome, I found a giant mountain, and from far away, I spotted a ruined portal on there, so I went to go check it out and see what it had on it. After arriving to the ruined portal, I looked through all the loot, and actually I saw solid loot, including obsidian and a flint and steel. That's going to be huge for getting to the nether early on. I decided to keep going up the mountain, see if I could find maybe a little bit of iron and stuff. But when I tell you, I found almost 3 stacks of iron on this mountain. I am not kidding. Might have been the best mountain. Might have been the best mountain I've ever found in Minecraft. It's insane. I'm not gonna bore you with all the mining, but I found so much iron. Not the most important detail, but while I was up there, it turned nighttime while I was mining for iron. I decided to make my first bed, and I finally got to sleep through the night and not have to hide in the mountain. I also managed to find some emeralds, which, I mean, it's cool, I guess. So from this point, I'm honestly just going to skip the rest, and I'm going to cut to when I'm looking for a place to stay, and I'll show you my end result of mining afterwards. So when I finally managed to get myself away from the mountain with all those resources, I decided to start looking for a place to stay. I'll go over the findings later, because I do not have a clip of me showing it in this, but it'll happen. After a little bit of looking, I finally managed to find a nice little area where I can make my first house. I decided to build the foundation of the house out of cobblestone, and I made it a circle shape, so it would be a little unique shape, because I'm not a great builder. But I made it unique, and I liked how the end product turned out, but you'll have to wait to see that. After I got the foundation of my house built, I realized that I didn't have enough to actually fill it in all the way. So I had to go back up to the mountain and get more cobblestone, which, not a big deal, but a little annoying. I also decided I want to make my first farm, a wheat farm, so I can have a good food source of bread. So I decided to make it on this little hill up here, have a good spot for it, but I realized I needed water, so I had to go find a water source so I can create an infinity pool with my 2 buckets. On my way to get the water in the cobblestone, I spotted in the distance a village. So I went there and I got whatever I could, all the resources. While in the village, I found something that's going to be very important later on, or I guess right now. Hay bales. That is going to be such a huge food source for getting bread. So I have a good food source now. After mining all the hay bales, I had a talk with the iron golem, and I guess I said something wrong, and he started to chase me, so I had to say hi to him, try to calm down the situation, but he disappeared on me. I don't know where he went. Somebody help me find him, I guess. He's missing. After I led a search party to find my iron golem friend, couldn't find him, so I just went back to looting the village while it's hay bales and resources. But after that, I just went to their farm. I stole all their water for my own, because they don't need it, they don't drink. And after that, I went up to the mountain and found some cobble and then went back. Once I got back to my base, I used all that cobble I mined from the mountain, and I started filling in the floor of my house until I finally finished it. But I didn't have much cobble left over to make slabs for my roof, so I would have to go back later, but, you know, it just had to be done. After I finished placing the floor, I decided to take a small break from building. I decided to work on my farm. I managed to get all the seeds placed in the vicinity of the water, so managed to get everything done there. But then, it's time to build the walls of my home. Now it's time to build my walls. I'm going to make them pretty high, so I have room to actually do stuff in there, have more storage. But I'm going to build them all the way around, then add windows, and we're going to get the roof done. We'll see where we go from there. After I finished the walls, it was time for one of the most important parts of the house, my door. That's going to determine how I get in the house and how I get out. So we're going to put the door down, and then we got to go get materials for the roof and windows. I took a few minutes to mark out where my windows are going to be, and then I set off to go get myself some cobblestone and sand to make windows. To get the cobblestone, instead of just going back to the mountain, I decided to just make myself a little mine I'm going to go back into later in a different episode, getting more materials like diamonds and whatnot. I used some of my cobblestone and my iron to make a stone cutter so I can get different types of stones and other things. I decided to start on my roof. I used 2 different types of stone slabs. I used cobblestone and normal stone, just like to have a little texture and not have it all look bland at one color. As I was getting closer to my roof being done, I realized I didn't have quite enough slabs to get it done, so I had to go back down to the mine, get some more cobblestone. It wasn't a big deal though, just took a few seconds, but I managed to get the roof done, and then I had to go out and get sand for my windows. After getting all the cobblestone I needed, I was able to finish my roof, and then I was able to set out to go get sand to finish up my windows. Before I left to get the sand though, I did decide to do a little bit of designing, and I made this little indentation in the floor. It's a nice little area. I have some crafting tables in there. Not a big detail, but I thought it looked cool. I know I said I was going to get sand, but during my stream, I had lo-fi playing in the back. I guess it got copyrighted, and the stream had to end early. I didn't make any more progress past this, but that's where I'm going to start off the next episode. By getting sand, finishing up the windows, finishing up the house, and we'll see where we go from there. So, that was episode 1 of my Minecraft Hardcore. Sorry it was so short. The next one's going to be longer, but Stream got ended early because of copyright from the lo-fi I was playing in the back. So probably gonna have to do no lo-fi in the back next time, but I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.